This video is part 2 of how to use the event management tools in FUDSChem. These tools allow us to plan our sampling event in advance of field activities. They also populate event tracking reports, which we go over in our Event Tracking Reports overview video, linked in the description. Go to Tools, Data, Event Management. Select the correct project in the project name dropdown. We go over the Create Track Projects tab and Create Track Events tab in our Project Tracking Report overview video. We go over the Assign Locations tab and Assign Methods tab in our Event Management Tutorial Part 1 video. Both videos are linked in the description. We'll go to the Assign Field Samples tab, which will start to pre-fill our digital chain of custody, or ChemField file. Select the correct event and click Add Edit Samples. We will check the box to select all of the locations in a list at the top to display them in the grid below. If you had an especially long list of locations and needed to find a specific one, you could use the filter box above to filter the location list and more easily find it. Additionally, if your project has various sites in FUDSChem, you could use the Sites option to the left to filter the location list further. A few fields are pre-populated. The begin depth and end depth are automatically populated for wells. They use the top and bottom of the well screen from the well construction intervals file, if available. For more information, please refer to our Well Construction Intervals Entry tutorial video, linked in the description. If the screen interval is not available, depths default to 0.00. These depths can be changed as appropriate. The sample number is set to 1 for all samples. If there are 2 samples from the same location and depth with the same matrix and sample type on the same day, for example, field replicates for ISM sampling, the second sample should be changed to sample number 2. In most cases, leaving the sample number as 1 is appropriate. If the Copy Event button was used on the Assign Locations tab previously, then additional fields would also be pre-populated with information from the copied event. All of the other fields are blank. Let's fill them out, starting with the field sample ID. Click the checkbox in the header row to select all of the locations. Sample IDs will need to be unique within a single event and between different events. This means you won't be able to name your sample after the location every time. Similarly, not every trip blank can be named trip blank. As a best practice, we recommend appending the month and year, or the quarter and year, to your location name as an easy way to name your samples. We do not recommend that you add the exact date because if you end up sampling on a different day, you may have to rename your samples. For more information, please refer to our Best Practices Naming Conventions video, linked in the description. We could name each of our samples individually, but we can save time by using the Replace Field Sample ID option to automatically name the samples. We'll name them after their location ID, followed by the month and year of collection. We'll choose Location in the Columns dropdown and use the arrow to add it to our name. Next, add _DEC23. Click the Replace button to name the selected samples. Now, we'll fill out the rest of the information using these dropdowns. For our matrix, we'll choose groundwater and use the plus button to add it. You can see the matrix field is now populated. Our lab will be Eurofins Test America, South Burlington. We can jump down to E by typing the letter E, then select Eurofins, South Burlington, and use the plus button to add it. Note, This is the lab performing the analyses. If you have a method that will be analyzed by a sub-lab, please refer to our Multiple Labs Event Management Advanced Tutorial video, linked in the description. Our sampler will be environmental synectics. We could type E to jump down, or, alternatively, hold the Control key and the F key and search for the name of the sampler. Once we find it, we'll select the sampler and click the plus button to add it. Our sample type will be normal, which we can add in the same way. Our sampling method will be low flow, which we can also add in this way. Our sampling status will be scheduled. Note that the sampling status field will accept free-form text, as well as the drop-down options. The status shows up in the event tracking reports, so typing in a custom status can add more detail. Please refer to our Unscheduling Samples Event Management Advanced tutorial, linked in the description, for more information. We could also add comments about the sample in the Remarks field. This field shows up on the Chemistry Detail report. If we ended up not being able to analyze a sample, we could come back here and add remarks explaining what happened. Note that remarks and sampler name are optional and can be left blank. All of the methods we added on the Assign Methods tab show up on the far right. Our first sample is the only one that had QSM-B15 selected on the Assign Methods tab, so it is the only one with a checkbox available for QSM-B15 here. We could check the boxes for each method by hand, or use the Methods to Update option in the lower right. We can choose which methods to update, then click Check Selected Methods. On the right, we can see that everything is checked. Click Save Changes. If you have a long list of methods, you can use the Hide Selected Columns option to hide columns and limit the amount of scrolling you have to do. Additionally, if there are multiple labs on your project, you could filter on the lab in the upper left before assigning methods. This way, you can select only the methods needed for Lab A before moving on to selecting the methods for Lab B. To add a field duplicate, we'll select the parent sample, then click Copy Rows. First, we'll update the name of the duplicate as needed. Ours will include a B at the end. Change the sample type from normal to field duplicate using the dropdown. If needed, we could also adjust which methods are run for the field duplicate by unchecking the boxes for methods over on the right. A similar procedure is followed to add matrix spikes and matrix spike duplicates. Copy the parent sample twice by selecting the parent and clicking the Copy Rows button twice. Then, update the names if needed. As a best practice, sample names for the MS and MSD should be the same as the parent sample name. This does not cause any issues. Regardless of the name, we'll be sure to use the dropdown to change the sample type to matrix spike and matrix spike duplicate, respectively. We do not recommend adding trip blanks and other field QC samples in this interface. Instead, wait to add them to the ChemField file, where a special Add Field QC interface allows you to associate your QCs with specific samples. This ensures the Automated Data Review, ADR, qualifies them correctly. We go over how to do this in our field sampling ChemField entry tutorial, linked in the description. The Create Profile Samples button can be used to create a set of profile samples from a single location, with automatically increasing depths. For more information, please refer to our Creating Profile Samples Event Management Advanced tutorial video, linked in the description. Click Save and close the interface. If something changes between when we plan our event in the event management tool and when we go out to the field, we can always return to this interface and make updates as needed. Filling out event management allows us to access color-coded event tracking reports that show us the status of different data types in our event in real time. We go over these reports in our Event Tracking Reports overview video, linked in the description. Additionally, completing this tab in Event Management is the first step in generating chains of custody and bottle labels directly from FUDSChem. We go over how to do this in our field sampling chem field entry tutorial, linked in the description. Please refer to our Event Management Tutorial Part 3 video, linked in the description, to continue learning about the Event Management interface. Don't forget to subscribe to the FUDSChem YouTube channel for more tutorial videos. All of the tutorials and playlists mentioned during this video are linked in the description below. Lastly, if you have questions or comments, feel free to contact us at fuds.support@synectics.net. Thank you.